What's going on, fellow yogis? I'm glad to have you back on the mat. My name is Trevor Taylor, and I'm your instructor for the day, and I'm so grateful that you've met me here for a 15-minute practice. This is beginner's yoga, so we're not going to do anything crazy, no headstands, no handstands, but more importantly, this is an opportunity for us to feel the body. All right, we do enough fighting and forcing things throughout the rest of our lives. In this moment, I just want us to feel. So, in this practice, all I'll be using are blocks and just my will. So that's all I have. Hope that you have too in this practice. And then we're going to meet in this easy, comfortable seat here. I say easy, comfortable. This is skandasana, not skandasana, sukhasana. There we go. Sanskrit, man, all the words. And that means you can just have your ankles crossed, wherever feels comfortable for you. But the aim is to sit on a block or a pillow or a bolster, something that can get your hips above your ankles, where you feel comfortable, feel steady, and we can just breathe here. All right. So find the floor beneath you with your sit bones. And I like to say sometimes it means you got to move some flesh out the way. All right. And once you feel the bones pressed into the block or whatever is underneath you as your seat, sit up tall, lengthen out of the low back, lift the heart with your inhale, and allow yourself to settle in with the exhale. Good. Full breath in through the nose and slowly out the nose. Good. You can even close your eyes if you'd like. Take another full breath in. Exhale, release the tension. And one more time, breathe in through the nose. And slow exhale out. Now, in your case, if you're facing the front of your mat, you want to actually bring our feet to touch, soles of the feet to touch. All right. And here, you can walk the hands behind you so that you can still have an erect spine, but you just want this to be comfortable. From here, I want you to take a full breath in and exhale, bring the legs together as you close a book. Good. Inhale them open. Exhale, close them. Let the knees tap one another. Inhale, open the books. Allow your thighs to move. Allow the bones to make those adjustments, right? You might feel the head of the femur, the thigh bone, rotating inside the hip socket. Maybe there's some clunking going on. No shame. Just observations. Good. Know that in our practice, typically we're going to have the breath be associated with a movement, or what I like to say is like the breath and body get to play together. It's a dance, right? So sometimes it's nice to have some rhythm to follow, especially with your partner. Now you can walk the feet out in front, and then keep a slight bend in the knees. Heels are into the mat, and this time with the feet out wide, maybe on the outside edge of your mat, we're just going to windshield wiper the knees. And you may notice that the knees don't necessarily go out as far as you maybe thought they would. Maybe you feel like you need to force things, and I again want to remind you, we're not here to force, we're not here to fight, we're just here to feel. All right. Good. And now if you remove that block from underneath you, grab a hold of the shins, sit yourself up tall, take a full breath in, and exhale, sweep the feet behind you, make your way into tabletop. Finger pads are spread wide, taking up as much space as possible. And then we're going to take that one block we have, and in its lowest, like narrow setting, place it high into the hips. All right, we want to squeeze the block together with our thighs. Full breath in here. Full exhale out. And we'll do a few rounds of cat-cows. So squeezing the block, lift the tailbone, and then lift your heart as you take a deep breath in. And then tuck the tailbone and press the heart away from the earth as you exhale out. Inhale, let the belly drop towards the mat as you lift your gaze. And exhale, press it away. Good. One more cat-cow here. Keep squeezing that block. Take one breath in. And a full exhale out. As you come into that neutral spine, find that stillness, press the hands into the mat, and I want you to tuck your back toes. And then together with that block still squeezed between the thighs, even if it's imaginary, we're going to lift the hips high first, press our heart back, and let the heels drop towards the mat for downward facing dog. And if this is your first one, this is our first one of the practice, we'll bend our knees one at a time, noticing the sensations that are in the backs of the legs, and noticing our breath as we're here. I want you to do is come back into that high plank, drop the knees down to the mat. And if you feel this length that's there, right, the hips are not on top of the knees, and that's good. We're going to untuck the toes, and I want you to turn your hands out as if you're turning a jar of pickles, right? You don't have to actually spin the hand, but we just want the inside of these elbow pits to face the front of the mat, and then we'll lower our torso down to the ground, bend the elbows straight back, and lower your chest down. You can remove the block from between the thighs. And then with the hands in that same position, baby cobra, press the hips into the mat, lift the heart, maybe the head follows, and exhale back down. Press the mat away from you as you lift away. Tuck the toes. Keep that imaginary block still squeezing between the legs as you find your downward facing dog. Good. Now in your downward facing dog, you can keep the knees bent as much as you feel you may need to. All right. Ideally, if you can have the thigh touching the belly and the belly touching the thigh, that's nice, but that's not the goal here. Ideally, we just want to allow the backside of the body to lengthen out, right? I'm talking low back, hips, glutes, hamstrings, calves, even down to the Achilles. Take one more full breath in. And exhale. I want you to bring your weight into your right foot, lift the left foot, and step it front. Then press the weight into the left foot, plant the right foot down, step it in front. And then take your time as you walk towards the top of the mat, and we'll meet in forward fold. All I like to do here, grab an opposite elbows for ragdoll and give yourself a gentle sway. It's nice to let the head be heavy and the neck be soft. Good. On your next inhale, plant the hands into the shins, maybe the thighs, or if you have those blocks here, you can find that. And find a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, find a standing pose. Feet are pressed down into the mat, hips underneath the shoulders, and the hands go high. The shoulders are away from the ears. And we exhale the hands by our side to Tadasana. Now, before we continue, bring your attention to what it feels like to balance on your 2 feet. And I hope Patty's not blocking. So I want you to lift your toes off the mat, all 10. If you ain't got 10, lift all your toes, doesn't matter to me. All right, and let the pinky toe come down. Let the big toe come down. These are your 4 corners, so these are the first 2. In the backs of the heels, imagine that there is some corners on the outside edges of the feet. The 4 corners of your feet will help you balance. So if you close your eyes, maybe you even notice that in this pose where we feel strong, stable, and still, that there is a sense of motion that is happening. That in all this movement, there's also stillness. You might find that you're swaying a bit as you try to find the sense of balance and notice the subtle shifts that are happening in the body. And that is the constant balance that's taking place within us at all times. So we're always trying to find balance in our lives, moment by moment. All right. So we're standing at the top of the mat. Reach the hands in front of you as you follow the thumbs above the head. And then exhale, forward fold. Bend softly in the knees. Plant the hands down into the shins and find that flat back. Inhale here. Exhale the hands down. Step the left foot back. Step the right foot to meet. Tap the knees down to the mat. And again, lower all the way down slowly. Slowly, still lowering, and drop down. Inhale, lift the chest, find baby cobra. Shoulder blades come together. Exhale, release down. Press away from the mat. We're back in tabletop. Now, tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog as we lift the hips. Belly button is pulled towards the spine. And now we're going to take that left foot and step it back. All right, we're in a three-legged dog. So your foot can, or your leg can be parallel to the ground. Maybe you want to use that glute of that left leg, right, to lift the hip a bit higher. And then exhale, step it to the top of the mat. Now, even if it steps right here, perfectly fine. Grab the ankle, help it out. Or if you have those blocks, it's nice to use this to bring the earth a little bit closer. As you drop the back knee, we'll prepare for Anjaneyasana. So walk the hands up the thigh. Your hips are like a bowl of water. I don't want you to allow any water to spill out. So in order to do that, we have to take the bowl and tilt it up. Tailbone comes underneath you. All right, so when I say no spillage, this is what I'm referring to when we're talking about the bowl of the hips or the pelvic bowl, right? As you inhale, the hands above the head, the shoulders stay low, the hands go high, and you can exhale, maybe find a bit deeper depth into this pose, this low lunge, without spilling anything, right? And now bring the hands down in front of inside the foot. We're going to tuck the back toes and lift the knee off the mat. Take a full breath in. Exhale, push the heel back towards the rear of the mat. And then inhale the heel towards the front. And allow yourself to find a bit of a rock here. Noticing what's going on in the left feet, or the left foot, the left feet, wow. Good. And now I want you to do is take that momentum that you build, and we're going to bring that right foot to meet at the top of the mat next to the left. So on your own, when you're ready, we'll go. Good. Keep that micro bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release all the way down. Float the hands in front of you. Follow them all the way up as you come to a standing pose. And exhale the hands by your side, Tadasana. Good. Inhale the hands back up. Exhale, swan dive down, plant the hands down. And this time we're going to step the left foot way back. Right foot follows. We're in downward facing dog. Inhale to high plank. And then tap the knees down. Lower all the way down. Shoulder blades come together. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the heart for baby cobra. Exhale. Lower down and then press away from the mat. Tuck the toes. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Good. Take a full breath in. Exhale. Shake your head yes. Full breath in. Lift the hips. Shake your head no as you exhale. And now, right heel lifts up, press it back. Exhale, step it to the top of the mat. And take your time, even if you have to plant one foot down and help the ankle up, right? As we drop the back knee, we're going to float the hands up for Anjaneyasana, second side. Again, no spillage here. As you exhale, let the hips sink towards the floor. All right, that bowl is getting closer, like gravity is taking the bowl of water and keeping it down without spilling it, right? Exhale the hands inside that foot. Lift the back toes, lift the foot off the mat. Lift the knee off the mat. And then we're going to rock back and forth. Good. When you're ready, we'll step it all the way up. Meet at the top of the mat. As you take your time, maybe it takes a few steps. No worries, this is a journey. That's why I love this practice. Inhale, hands into the shins or into the thighs. Find that flat back. Exhale, lower down, chin away from the throat or from the chest. And then we'll rise up. Standing pose. Exhale, Tadasana. Now, we talked about balance before. And now what I want to bring your attention to is this. If your right heel comes off the mat, all right, and as if you're like squishing a bug. I won't say that too loud. We got animals and plants around. Everything is sacred. All right, closing your eyes for just a few breaths. I want you to notice what it's like to press the left foot into the mat as the right heel comes off and you're finding that balance. Again, noticing that shift in stillness and in motion. Maybe even closing your eyes and seeing what that feels like as you lighten the right foot off the mat. Good. Bring the heel down. Shake that left leg out. Inhale the hands above the head. And exhale, swan dive down. Soft bend in the knees. Plant the hands down. Find your halfway lift. And good. Step the right foot back. Left foot follows. This time we'll stay in the plank. Pause here for a second. Option to tap the knees down, or we're going to let the elbows graze the ribs as we lower down as one unit. Good, baby cobra. Lift the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Not squeeze, just bring them together. And exhale, lower down. Press the mat away from you. Find your way into downward facing dog. Good. Right heel presses back, three-legged dog. Take that journey. Maybe it steps, and then you have to help it. Drop the back knee. Untuck the toes, and we'll float the hands up. No spillage of the water out this bowl. As you exhale the hands down inside of the foot. Tuck the back toes. And we are going for our, here we go, take off. The left foot meets at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release it all down. Hips are high, head is low. Circle sweep the hands together as you rise up. And exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana. This time, weight's going in the right foot. And we're gonna squish the bug with the left. Heel comes up. And then again, option to challenge yourself with closing your eyes and allowing yourself to find that stillness, knowing that there's still motion taking place, right? What happens in the four corners of the feet? Is that right foot actively pressing into the mat? You feel the hip having to work a bit as it brings the tailbone underneath you. We're here for one more breath in. Exhale, let it go. Shake that leg out. Good. Circle sweep the hands together. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Good. Chin away from the chest, and then let that same length stay with you as the belly comes towards the femurs. The hands come to the mat, and then you step both feet back. Option again, tap the knees down. Bend the elbows straight back. Lower your chest towards the mat, and then shoulders back, heart forward, baby cobra. Exhale, release down, and we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Keeping that imaginary block still in between the legs, or if you'd like, always there. Just props, they're just tools. That's why we love them. Helps us remind ourselves of what muscles to be engaged in order to be safe and to prevent injury. More importantly, to make this practice a bit easier in the long run. All right, we're here for longevity purposes. All right, last time in down. Oh, we got two more times in downward facing dog. So here we go. This is one of them. Right heel is down, left heel floats. And exhale, step to the top of the mat. Drop the back knee. Float the hands up as you inhale here. Exhale the hands inside of that front foot as you tuck the toes. Lift the knee off the mat. Find that length between the head and the heel as you give yourself a gentle rock. And then step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Release it down. Rising up, inhale, hands above the head. Hands by the side, Tadasana. Weight in the left heel. This time for tree pose, Vriksasana, you want to press the left heel down, right heel comes up, and you have three options. You can keep the foot right here and let the heel kind of rest onto the ankle. Love it. That's tree pose. Another option, pressed into the calf. Here is not an option. It's into the side of the knee. The knees don't bend side to side, so we don't even want to give it that idea that it's going in that direction. So instead, we grab the heel, bring it up a little higher, press the foot into the thigh, press the thigh back into the foot, and we lift, right? Energy's pulling up. We're standing tall. We're here for 3. Full breath in. 2, full breath out. Last one, inhale here. Woo, and exhale, bring the foot down. You fall out, that's what this whole practice is for. Shake the leg out. We're trying to find balance here. Nobody is perfect. Not even me. Thank God, that's a lot of pressure. Bring the hands above the head. Swan dive down. Plant the hands to the mat. And then find that halfway lift. Maybe it's blocks. Maybe it's shins. Maybe it's the thighs. Exhale. Release down. Step the feet back. Hold this plank pose. Maybe drop the knees. We're in this plank for 3. 2, open those jars of pickles. 1, as you turn the hands out, we're bending the elbows straight back, grazing the ribs, lower the chest, shoulders back, heart in front, maybe the head lifts. Exhale, press back. Last downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale, lift the hips a bit higher. Right heel goes back, 3-legged dog. Step it to the top of the mat. Remember, we're dropping the back knee, and as you untuck the toes, float the hands up high. Bring the hips squared and leveled. As you exhale, you can drop the pelvic floor towards the mat, and then bring the hands down. Tuck the back toes. We're in that lunge position. Rocking here a few times, and when you feel ready, we'll make our way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, hands into the shins or thighs. Exhale, release it down. Let the head be heavy, let the neck be soft. And then rise up, tailbone underneath you. Shoulders on top of the hips and the hands above the shoulders. Exhale, Tadasana. Tree pose, second side. Right foot, press down into the mat. And again, we're going to lift that heel and choose your variation of tree pose, whichever you would like, whichever feels best for you in your body today. I'm actually just going to go, I guess I did the same side, right? Got to find that balance. Good, we're here for a few breaths, so full breath in. And find your drishti, your center of focus. As you press the foot into the thigh back into the foot. And these opposing forces work together to bring you balance. Good. Drop the foot down. We'll inhale the hands high. And exhale, swan dive down. Step the feet back. You're in your high plank. Lower the knees down. And then we're going to let the knees go wide, big toes to touch, and we'll meet in child's pose. As you sink the hips back, find that natural low curve, or natural curve in the low back. The belly sinks in between the thighs, and we inch the fingertips in front. Take a few more breaths here. Our next inhale, come into a tabletop pose. And then I want you to sweep the feet in front of you. And we'll meet in that windshield wiper like we did earlier. So hands are going behind us. Feet are out to the outside edge of the mat. And then we'll let the knees sway back and forth. Again, you don't have to do more than what your body is already showing and what it wants to do. You might feel this sensation in the outer hip, or you might feel sensations in other places. As long as it's not pain, or it's not pinching, or there's no numbing, I'm okay with that. With the hands wrapped underneath the hamstrings, I want you to sit up tall, bring the chest high, and then scoop the tailbone underneath you, and then lower down, one vertebra at a time. Good. Now we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest. Let the knees go wide for a bit of a happy baby pose. Just grabbing the tops of the shins. Low back stays in contact with the mat. And the knees come out wide towards the armpits. You can close the legs together. Rocking back and forth on your side, or maybe doing some circles. Giving yourself a gentle massage on the spine. And then here are a few options for Shavasana. Many people say to let the legs long. I say find a pose that feels comfortable. So oftentimes I'll let the feet heel toe out to the sides of the mat and let my knees fold in as they lean on one another and support each other. And this allows the low back to relax. Or maybe you want the legs extended out long, hands by your side. And know that the only energy that you are asked to expend right now is that you focus on one thing and one thing only. And that's your breath. That you notice the coming in and going out. Maybe notice the sensations throughout the body that come with the inhale. And if any sensations alter as you exhale. And you are free to remain here for as long as you need or as long as you would like. But I would like to say thank you for joining me in this practice. This is a practice that is ancient and it is geared towards self-care, self-love. Because we learn to love ourselves, we become better lovers of the world around us. So I thank you for this time. I thank you for this practice. And I look forward to continuing our yoga journey together. Until then, know that the light in me honors the light in you and loves you. That's namaste.